All right. Welcome to another episode or podcast of Sippin Tea with Key. And I'm here with Diamond and Epiphany.
Yo, what's up?
And they are promoters of Charlotte in their LBGT community. So we're going to get into a couple questions with them. Have just like a Q&A with them. Just kind of see, who they are and what they represent. Just, kind of get into their brain so my followers, their followers can find out who they are and more about them. So let's talk about being nervous.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's talk about being nervous.
Yeah, that's me.
My girl Diamond over here is sweating bullets right now. But we ain't going to talk too much about that. But we are going to talk about, being nervous when you are promoting, when you are on the scene. So how is it? Do you get nervous when you're promoting, when you're, at the club? Like, how does that work? How does,
I know for me, typically, once I'm not really, this is what people don't understand about me. I'm not really a people's person. But, when it comes to, promoting and being around networking, I'm a total different person. Mm-hmm. I don't know where it comes from, but it's different. I've always been a nerve-wracked person for whatever reason. But for the most part, when I get behind those closed doors in the club scene, behind the mic, I'm a total different person.
You're a totally different person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about you?
I think my nervousness is typically before I see the crowd walk in. Once I see that we have a crowd, I'm usually relaxing because I just have such high expectations for us, and I think that brings the fear of whether we're gonna meet that expectation or not. But Diamond typically is the confidence, the confidence that helps bring me out of that doubt or fear of how things are gonna turn out. But once we get to the event and get going, you definitely forget all about that and start getting into the groove of what we need to do to keep the vibe going. So more excited than nervous, but sometimes it can be a little nervousness in there.
Okay. Well, hold on, guys. So aside from how it is when you are in the club and the nervousness, how does it feel when you have the mic in your hand? Describe how it feels when you have the mic in your hand.
Oh, I'm explosive. Like, can't nobody tell me nothing. Like I said, I'm a total different person. The feel that I have when I get behind the mic, I can't even explain it. Like, I'm in a whole nother zone, a whole nother world. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's really unexplainable.
Yeah, we had a mic. We really feel like we're in control of the vibe, and the vibe is big for us because I think you can have a room full of people and still not really have a good vibe going or not have a great time. Sure. But you can have a smaller room with less people, and if the vibe is good, it's that you have a greater time. So it's not about the amount of people that I think we bring to a venue. I think it's about the vibe. So anytime we're on the mic, I think our focus is the vibe, making sure everybody's dancing up on their feet and having a good time. So we try to control the climate of the party. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely exciting when we're on the mic. You can definitely feel the vibe in the room. So
what type of vibe are you trying to set with your parties?
I think for us, first of all, we want everybody to feel comfortable. And that's why we welcome a huge array of people to our party. And it's not just limited to LGBT. I mean, we really welcome in the entire city to come out because we don't have any discrimination or bias in anything that we do. So we want to give off a very unbiased vibe, a very comfortable vibe for everybody. Have a good time, enjoy the music. And feel safe, of course, especially these days with, how clubs are going, but feeling safe and feeling welcome. So, and just feeling free to be yourself at our events.
Okay. You feel the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay.
She said it all.
Yeah. So tell me about your ritual. What is your ritual before a party? What do you do? What gets you in the mood? What gets your mojo, synchronized? What is it that you do that gets you ready to go out there and be explosive?
I know for me, I have a sound system at home. I always practice. Like, you can check me out on 757GAL. That's my Instagram page. I do a lot of practicing at home.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to, prep myself like that, it gets me prepared for the club. Sometimes I do it before the club, sometimes I don't. But for the most part, that's how I prep. I'm always on my phone looking at myself. Like, I have to see myself. You know what I mean? Like, I really have to see myself before I get in front of everybody else. And that's really what I do.
So you practice.
Mm-hmm.
Practice makes perfect, though. Practice makes perfect.
I listen to slow music before each party.
What?
I don't listen to, I either listen to slow music or
different.
I listen to African music before each party. I don't really listen to the music that we're going to hear at the event. I typically try to listen to the opposite of that. So, and of course that's always hip hop. And so I listen to African music, reggae, R&B, because I have to relax before the event, or I will come in too jittery, too nervous, kind of all over the place. So I think coming in relaxed kind of keeps my tempo at a comfortable place, as opposed to coming in and being too hyped up. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
Because most of the time I have to calm her down. Like, look, it's gonna be good. Like, like I really do. Because sometimes she
things have to go right, and if things aren't going right, then I'm not too happy. But of course, in that situation, you still have to maintain a certain demeanor about yourself, because you got a vibe to feel. You got a crowd that's dependent on you. They came, they know you're the promoter, they're expecting a certain vibe from you, so you have to keep yourself going. Otherwise, people will wonder what's going on, what's wrong, and it'll put a sour taste in their mouth. So even if things aren't going exactly how we planned, we gotta stay in it and just keep improvising until we get it right, so that we can keep the party going.
Okay, well, that's understandable. I mean, it's different. I've never heard someone say that, but that's totally different. So, in terms of music, when did you first fall in love with hip-hop, with music, that made you want to do what you do right now?
For me, my mother owns a club. So my mother owns the reggae club in Charlotte, Crystal on the Plaza. So I've kind of been exposed to the club business and nightlife for a while, just from my mother owning that club for 18 years now. And then in addition to that, my father is a musician, so he's worked a lot with music. That's actually how my parents met, through music. So it's kind of just been in me, just from my father being into music, my mom having a club, all of my siblings love music. So just that's pretty much where I get my feel for music from.
And me, I'm the total opposite. I don't have none of that. I guess how I fell in love pretty much when I was in college. Well, actually a little girl. I used to want to be a DJ. But I never got the sound system. I used to always beg my mom and dad for it. And I don't know why I never got it, but I still talk about it to this day with my parents. And, we'll laugh about it now. But for the most part, when I was in school, I actually found a mic. It was during T-Pain concert.
T-Pain?
Yeah. And it was T-Pain, Busta Rhymes, and somebody else. And I never returned the mic. Because I was just like, I got a mic. I kept holding it up. And we used to always throw dorm room parties. So I was like, well, I'm going to just keep it and keep it moving. And it was like, no. They called me Linda in school. So they would be like, Linda, no, go ahead and take it back. Take it to them. I'm like, no, I'm keeping this. So we went back to the dorm room and turned on the music. And I got behind that mic. And ever since then, it was a wrap. It was a wrap. And from that day, like, I just kept growing with it, for real, honestly.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Yeah, I never planned on being a host. Never had any intentions on being a host. And Diamond is still more of the leading figure when it comes down to the hosting. That's more of her lane. But we do tag team when it comes down to prime time of each event. But I really feed off of her a lot. I really get my energy from her when it comes down to hosting, and just kind of get in where I fit in. But she does such a great job with it. I just kind of piggyback off of the vibe that she has going, and we kind of, take it together from there. But I actually still want to learn more about DJing. So that's one thing that I've kind of been looking into. But, we do so many things, man. We trying to just touch base on all ends.
Right.
So yeah, so it's good to
Especially
know.
find the time.
It's good to know how to do these different things. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It definitely plays a part in what you're doing as being promoters and actually being on the scene. You know, you never know when, you know, something happens and you have to get up there and like,
yeah,
like you never know. You never know.
I want to be able to do that. I really want to be.
Yeah,
able to
and that would be good to know. And I mean, it's a great skill. I'm definitely trying to learn right now. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely learning right now. And I think it's good, especially with, you know, this type of atmosphere with being in entertainment and wanting to entertain and show skill. Like, I think it's good. It's really good. So, right now, what is your favorite genre of music? Is it hip-hop? Rap?
I say R&B.
R&B?
Mm-hmm.
Why R&B?
Because that's more up my lane. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm an affectionate person.
Mm-hmm. I get more of a chill vibe from you. You just seem chill.
I really am. I mean, I really like all, but
Mm-hmm.
R&B, gospel. I go to sleep on gospel every night. Nature music.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much some of everything. I don't really have a favorite. I vibe what I like at the moment. So
yeah. Okay.
African music is one of my favorite right now. I kind of get tired of hip hop from time to time, but African music is a good mix of a little bit of Caribbean, a little bit of R&B in some of the songs, and some of them can be faster tempo, slower tempo. I like the versatility in African music, but I just have a passion for African music just from being around the Caribbean culture. But also African culture has kind of merged with Caribbean these days. You see a lot of Afro pop and stuff, so I'm a big fan of African music right now.
Okay. So what I want you to do right now, take out your phone.
Okay.
Play the last song you were listening to.
Really?
Play the last song you were listening to. Okay, that's dope. I can vibe with that.
This song has been growing on me lately, so.
I was killing that album.
Yeah.
Like, I was killing that album. I was killing it. I like that song. Okay.
What you got down there? R&B.
That was the last one.
That's Her, Focus.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure everybody has heard that. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Totally different vibes. I mean, kind of similar, but totally different vibes in how you guys rock with music. And it's interesting to see y'all come together and to have like a partnership, especially with having, you know, kind of almost totally different vibes, like backgrounds.
Yeah.
It is. But I mean, it's good because y'all both bring something different,
right.
And y'all both can feed off of each other and, you know, help one another get to, you know, a different level. I mean, it's always good to have another opinion.
Right.
It's always good to have another opinion, and creativity matters. Mm-hmm. So what she doesn't know, you pick up. What you don't know, she picks up. Right. And I vibe with that. I like that about having a partnership. Especially in business.
Yeah, I definitely learned from her because she has more of the business side of everything. And for real, honestly, I've been learning so much from her as we've been partnering.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a benefit to us to be kind of opposites of one another when it comes down to the way we dress and just our vibes, just the way we carry ourselves. We are different, but when we come together, it does make a good mix. But we also, besides that, are good, like she said, with what she knows versus what I know and what we can put on the table together. It really does make a complete puzzle when we put our heads together and can make things happen. Because she has some ideas that I don't typically have, and I have some things, ideas and things that she doesn't typically have. So we definitely have a good partnership and it's a good mix. We complement one another well when it comes down to partying, the business side of things, promo. Pretty much everything. We usually, one of us is picking up where each other left off. So, yeah, really good mixture of two people to do a partnership, and that's why we're really pushing being the hottest female duo in North Carolina.
Okay, well that's good because I don't know anyone else.
Yeah, not enough girls.
I couldn't name anyone else. That's a duo, not at all. Okay, so scenario. So have you ever been in the club, had the mic in your hand, and has picked up a conversation you were having?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I have.
Let's hear it.
I don't know. I can't recall.
I haven't picked up a full
That
conversation,
adjustment,
but
you know.
yeah, so you're saying like we're talking to somebody else and you can accidentally hear it on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said a couple words and like somebody can hear it, but just like asking someone a question or something like that. I've never had like a full blown convo where it's just like airing on the mic. But
Yeah.
You know, you are hosting sometime and then somebody will say something to you and you're still holding the mic here, so you lean over to talk to them and don't realize that they can still hear kind of what you're saying in the mic. So yeah, that has definitely happened to me a couple times.
Yeah, I can't recall.
It hasn't happened with you? No, not at all?
Not that I remember.
So how did this partnership start? Like how did y'all meet? How did y'all even get together?
Ooh.
I think one of the first times I saw Diamond was at I think I saw her one time in Onyx because we had a mutual friend, but we didn't speak or anything at that point. I just happened to see her because she was with some people that I knew. And then the next time I really saw her was at Trust, which it was Level, then it was Trust. It's the old Breakfast Club downtown. It was the Palace. We were there, and I saw her again. And then I started to see just different flyers rotating with Diamond Productions. We were working with some of the same people. So I was working with a group that she hadn't worked with. So we had mutual people who we had done business with. And then, after a while, some people started to kind of phase out of the community as far as doing the party thing. And it kind of left us as the main promoters, at least who were being consistent in the community. So just from us seeing each other's efforts, a lot of people in the community actually kept asking us on different occasions, why don't y'all work together? Are y'all going to do stuff together? Y'all going to party more together? So she ended up contacting me, and we met up and we were talking about doing some events, but we couldn't quite make it happen right then because of our schedules. So she had continued to do parties. I saw her work. She saw my work. And then after that, we kind of came together again, and she hosted a couple events for us at the Press Box. And the events turned out so great because we actually both were promoting it. I mean, she was the hosting, but she was actually promoting it as if she were the promoter of the party as well. And the turnout that we saw was great. So I think from there, the idea came that, wow, we can do stuff together and it'll turn out well. So after a while, it just kind of her doing her thing and me doing my thing, it was just kind of like smarter. And we just kind of saw opportunity to merge and to bring both of our crowds together and have one big party, I should say, or one big crowd at our events. Because we aren't selfish people, and we wanted to do it for the community and put Charlotte on the map, because so many people. Atlanta's doing great. You got Miami, New York, a lot of different prides around the world that are thick, DC. So we really just wanted to help Charlotte level up in our community, and we want to be the ones to take over and make that happen. So we just agreed to come together, and it's worked out. It's worked out very well since we started.
That's good. Is that how you remember it? That's what happened? Okay, so what do you think are Epiphany's strengths? What are her strengths?
Definitely the whole business sides. That is the top notch for her. She's very good at the whole paperwork, emailing, calls, text message, all of that stuff. She's so good at that. And I'm like, yo, can I see that? Can you send me this again? She was like, Diamond, come on now, you gotta. Yeah. I said, man, I need an assistant. She was like, yeah, we gonna need one, but she was like, you gotta do this for now. But for the most part, like, she's really great with the whole business side. Like, round of applause.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
That's good. So what are Diamond's strengths?
I think Diamond's really good at hosting, of course, and carrying the vibe with the crowd. Really good. Her promotion is really good and consistent. Her different promotion ideas, the way that she posts things, how she mixes up her promo on social media. So promo, hosting, and then just when we're out, she's less of a social butterfly than I am, but she's better with just walking up to people like, hey, we got this party, take this flyer, get to know people, and she's great on networking. So yeah, those are some of her strengths.
How do you keep each other motivated? Like, what do you do to keep each other motivated and wanting to throw the next party or think of the next theme to have to get people out to your parties?
You know, it's crazy you just said that, because today when I was at work, I hit her up. I said, we meet next week Tuesday. Like, I'm always brainstorming. Mm-hmm. So when I'm brainstorming, I'm writing down. Like, anytime I'm writing some stuff down, I'm always texting her, like, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. Let's talk about this time. Can you meet? That's normally, mm-hmm. you know what I'm saying, like how I go about it. I don't, mm-hmm. you know, per se, I can't really call for her, but mm-hmm. As far as motivation, like, we at least see each other once a week. We have to, like, in order mm-hmm. for us to keep this partnership going together, like, we're family now, so
yeah.
We hang out, we, you know, outside of partying, I don't know, we're just building a family ship.
Mm-hmm. A family ship.
Yeah.
A family ship.
If it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, though. Like,
I got it.
Yeah. I think, for me, seeing what other people are doing in other cities and other states, and not necessarily trying to imitate what they're doing, but
right.
just seeing, I'm usually just happy for seeing other women and other people in our community, meaning the LGBT community or just entertainment in general, just seeing them making the strides that they're making. Like, Sweet Heat is a huge event, Atlanta Pride is a huge mm-hmm. event, and just seeing how people are really making things happen in other states, that keeps me motivated to get Charlotte on the same platform, because I think Charlotte is capable of that with the
right.
with the venues that we have here, with the structure of our city, with how our city's growing, mm-hmm. with the amount of people that are moving into Charlotte. I just know we have the potential to pull the type of crowds and have the type of events that other states are having. So that's one thing that keeps me motivated, is just seeing that we can do that, and we have the confidence in ourselves and the potential to do that same thing. So, and we work out together. So we hold each other accountable on that end, and just trying to, you know, keep our minds clear and stay focused. So, but yeah, we try to motivate each other. We say positive things to each other all the time, and just try to, like I said, stay together and level up, help Charlotte level up.
Yeah. So, being promoters in Charlotte, what sets you aside from other people who are doing the same thing?
I think one thing is, I try to keep some type of relationship status with our crowd, with our regulars, with the people who buy tables from them, showing them hospitality. We don't just come in the party and stick to the stage and let, you know, whatever happens, or mm-hmm. throw our customers onto the venue staff. We handle our customers one-on-one. If our customers are unhappy with something or very happy with something, they feel free to hit us up and give us feedback. And we're very open to feedback. But we have, you know, relationships with our customers. We speak to people when they come in. We thank people for coming. You know, so I buy people drinks here and there, just different people who I've seen mm-hmm. come to the events that we may have invited, but you may not have thought they were going to come. But when they show up, like, hey, can I get you a drink? Yeah. So hospitality is huge. And I mm-hmm. think just showing them that we care and that mm-hmm. we appreciate them coming, we show a lot of appreciation to our customers too. So those are some things that not all promoters have to do, especially when you start to pull crowds of 1,000 or more. It's hard to keep that type of hospitality up. But right now, that's one of the things that we try to do, is show great hospitality to our crowd and not be so focused on the mic or the DJing or whatever. We try to personally make sure that our people are good mm-hmm. when they come to our parties.
Yeah, and that's good, because most time you don't really get that. You just hear the person on the mic, mm-hmm. and you have no idea where they are.
Right.
You have no idea where they are, what they're doing, but the only thing you know is they're in the building.
Right.
And that's good too, that you have that type of interaction with the people that you come in contact with, because, you know, it's not all about what you say. Is people going to remember what you do?
Right.
I mean, they're going to definitely remember what you say, but how you treat them is what they're going to remember most.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And
that helps us a lot.
So, what do you feel is something what do you bring most to what you do for the community?
You saying what do we bring to the community? You saying?
Yes.
Versatility, I think we're very versatile, and like, again, our appearance, versatile in the types of parties we do. We do day parties, night parties. Sometimes we have reggae DJs. Sometimes we have hip hop DJs. The genre of music we play, I don't go too many places and hear African R&B, hip hop, and reggae. I mean, so we fit a lot of different genres into our parties. which most people just expect straight hip hop, and that's not really what we do. So we try to mix it up, and we try to show the community different venues too. So we've done Press Box, we've done Tropics, we've done Crystals. Recess Charlotte has been great for us lately. So we've been doing, trying to not too many spots, but just kind of switch up the vibe a little bit. So those are a few things that we bring to the community when we do our events.
Okay. So what challenges are you facing right now that push you to level up in promoting or entertainment?
What you think?
You said what challenges right now are pushing us to level up?
I mean, because right now, so Charlotte is a great city. It really is. And honestly, their LBGTQ, it can be, it can be better. It definitely can be better.
Yeah, it can.
But right now, all they have is YouTube and Scorpios. So what are you bringing? What challenges do you feel like you are facing that are pushing you to make that better than just having just Scorpios that people go to, or,
I think people want to see other things. Scorpios is just on Saturdays. We typically do Friday nights, Saturday days sometimes, and Sunday days
night.
too. So, like she said, being versatile within the whole nightlife and I guess day life as well.
I think with the Charlotte community, it's always been trying to build some type of consistency with your crowd.
Right.
Because you can have an event one week and everybody shows up, and then you can have an event a few weeks later and you're expecting a certain turnout and you may not get that for whatever reason. So, but when you go to other cities, like I've partied in Houston, Atlanta, New York, you see the consistency in their crowd. You have an event, people are coming out. So and I think it's just building trust within your community. They just want to trust that it's going to be a good party, that if you book an artist, they're going to show up, that they're going to be treated well by the promoters, treated fairly, of course. We have to get to a point where people know us, for one. So that's a challenge, to continue to get your face, your entertainment group out there, because there's so many of them out there right now. So to try to set yourself apart, to try to get a consistent crowd. Getting venues is another thing. Not everybody in the city wants to lend out their venue to LGBT promoters because they either don't really want that type of vibe in their club. Unfortunately, you get that sometimes, or they're not really feeling having the LGBT community in their venue, which is respected. That's fine. But getting venues and getting people to trust that we will bring a crowd that's substantial for their venue, because people don't always believe it, but we bring people in the building too. I mean, we've had 350 people at an event before, and this is not during a Pride weekend, not during CIAA. This was a regular weekend where we pulled that amount of people. So that's the biggest challenge, is continuing to get ourselves out there so that we can build such a big crowd that we're going to have a consistent crowd every time we do a party, and that will eventually shoot us into doing something consistent like every weekend. And we've had offers to do stuff every weekend, but we want to try to build more of a following and build more consistency with the parties that we're doing now before we try to do something that's every weekend. But we definitely want to do something, whether it's a day party or night party. We're going to get to the point where we're doing something every weekend, a consistent gig. So that's some of the challenges that we're facing right now.
So does that coincide with adversity? How do you handle the adversity? How do you handle the backlash?
Staying positive. You got to stay positive. Continue to research things, figure out other ideas. That's where the brainstorming comes in at. Because if something doesn't work, you got to figure out a plan B and keep it moving. So we face adversity when it comes down to anything. Flyers. Sometimes you may get a flyer that you're not really feeling as much, so you might have to get another one made. Right. When you get to the event, you may have one of your door girls doesn't show up, so you got to improvise with that. Or just, you may think something's going to go one way and it doesn't, and you got to keep it moving. You just got to figure it out. So,
like today.
You got to figure it out, but you got to stay positive and look at the positive side of things. And that's what we try to keep each other doing, is just saying, hey, well, this didn't work out, but at the same time, people are still having a good time, and, we're good. Let's keep moving.
Vibes matter.
Yeah, right.
Vibes matter. You're real quiet over here. Give me some input. Give me some input.
I told you, I'm a talker.
Yeah, she got it, man.
I'm the spokesperson. And she's like in front of the cameras. Anywhere the paparazzi is, she's over there. I'm with the press with the mic.
She ain't never lied.
So she's the voiceover. So let's talk about success. How do you know, or how when you know when you reach success? Well, first of all, what do you feel like success means?
Good question. To us, I think me and Diamond want to expand outside of Charlotte, but we want to take Charlotte with us. And I think, we're looking at just trying to get on different platforms. We want the world to see what we're doing and the positivity that we're trying to put out into the community. Mm-hmm. But first of all, I think we've been successful already. I mean, actually, just ever since I started doing parties, from my very first party, I had a good crowd. And we've been lucky to not have anyone ever get hurt at any of our events. We haven't had a full-out fight at any of our events. We just don't have any complaints. So I think that's a success. That's a success in itself for us, to have. Because safety is a big thing, man. People don't understand how much work is put into these parties, and we really want things to go well. So when they go well and people hit us up after the party saying how much of a good time they had, that's success. Because we just want to, we're just trying to have fun. We want people to have fun. We want people to enjoy themselves. If you're having a bad day, we want to turn your bad day into a good night, So we have been successful, but of course we're always striving to be better. And that's just where we are right now, just trying to get better. But we've had a lot of success so far. We're blessed, definitely.
I definitely can agree with that. It's good to make sure that you have some type of comfortability with who you are and what you're doing, because that does make for good brainstorming. For one, it does. It completes your equilibrium in a way that you gain a better focus. Gain a better focus, and you have some type of drive. You have it's like tunnel vision. Tunnel vision, especially for me, I'm always working. Always busy, and I definitely understand when it comes to finding time for other things. Of course, they say you make time for the things that you want to, but sometimes when you chasing a dream, when you chasing
chasing the dream,
right,
chasing the check, like
when you
some
chasing
things just
it,
don't matter. I feel you.
Some things just don't matter,
prioritize,
and that's a big thing for me. Yeah. That's a big thing for me.
That's been a big thing for us lately too. Just because, like I said, we both have full-time jobs. We both have, other friends and family outside of this, but just with having a full-time job, trying to get rest, trying to have a social life where you can kind of hang out and enjoy yourself without, and there's not a lot of time for that. I mean, because we've been literally going to work, and then after work, we either having a meeting or we're going to work out. We try to work out at least 3 times a week, if not more. We're trying to graduate to more working out, but it's almost like every day there's something to do. So you gotta make time for the things that are important, and then whatever time you got left, you can use that however you please. But man, it's been a challenge to, have meetings and go work out and still have time for other things. But when, like you said, when you're chasing a dream, you gotta sacrifice. So that's what we're in the sacrifice stage right now.
Hey,
we are
I definitely
in the sacrifice
agree.
stage,
I'm in that sacrifice stage right now too. So I definitely I concur.
Definitely.
It's a lot. It's a lot when you used to going out and used to being on the scene, and like for me, everyone was always asking me where the party at. So now I'm like, I don't know. Like,
This is our party. I don't know. This is our party. I really don't know, because we don't really focus on that. We don't really focus on other events, but we do support other events. Now that's one thing that we will do is support other people's events, especially people who support our events. We definitely try to get out and support other people's events, or even if they're just promoting something for other people, we try to come out and be a support of other people, because we definitely appreciate the support we get. So
and that's definitely important to support other people, because you want them to, like, if y'all ever need to collab or do something together, you want those relationships. It's always good to build relationships with other people. That's definitely good.
Right.
So you already answered what if one of your clients wasn't happy with the turnout of a party? What would you do? How do you react to that?
If they come to us and let us know that they had an issue with something, or they weren't pleased with, say someone bought a table and they weren't pleased with the service, or they, felt like it was a misunderstanding on what they were actually going to have to pay, and they weren't clear on that. The first thing I'm gonna do is apologize and invite them out to the next event and offer them some type of compensation, whether it's a discount on their next table or drinks for a round of drinks for you and your friends, or we can discount you guys' entry the next time y'all come to an event. Different things like that, just to let them know that whatever happened, we wish it didn't happen, whether it was in our control, your control, whoever's control. We're not pointing the blame or the fault on anybody. We just want you to come back and let us compensate or accommodate you for, your disappointment from the last time, and just let you understand that we care, and we care about you spending your money with us. We want to show you a good time. So we definitely take that very serious. We don't want anyone feeling like they didn't have a good time at our parties or that we're not good people, because that's the first thing that we try to be is good people before the money, before the business side of things. We try to be good people. So we are good people. So that's pretty much how we handle any type of disgruntled client. But fortunately, we haven't had too much of that up until this point.
That's good. That's good. That means you're doing something right.
Yeah.
So that's good, especially how personable, you explain that you all are when it comes to, being involved with who comes through your door.
Right.
And that matters.
Right.
It definitely matters.
Right. People want to be acknowledged when they're spending their money with you, when they're supporting. They want some type of acknowledgement. It's not everybody, but some people appreciate the acknowledgement of just saying thanks for coming.
Right.
I mean, that goes a long way.
It brings
when
them
you're
back.
A promoter. Yeah, it brings them back, right.
It definitely brings them back. So we talked so much about about all the business. We talked about business. Business is business, as always. You always got to stay one step ahead of your crowd to make sure that, you're giving them something that's going to bring them back. So what does Charlotte have in store for them for the summer? What can they expect?
They can expect more parties, more fun, and more fun, and more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now we're working on some things, so just, stay tuned and look forward to what we're about to bring.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to do some things that different this summer that we haven't done before. We don't want to just be known for Friday and Saturday night turn-ups. I mean, we want to get, build on our versatility and have some events that just switch it up and have versatile events and not always just have nighttime parties, but have day parties and different productions and things that we have in mind. And we don't want to put it all out there, but we definitely are going to switch up some of our events this summer and do some things that just give people something different to attend. So that's what we're planning, some different things that give people a different vibe, different hours of the day to have a good time, different things like that. So we're going to switch it up and get a little bit more versatile with the type of events we're putting on.
We definitely need everybody to be in tune and stay tuned.
Get ready. So that means get ready, Charlotte.
Yeah.
And
get ready. We got some
not even just Charlotte,
Yeah, surrounding areas. We've had a lot of out-of-towners at our events. And I don't always know how they get the word, but they're getting it somehow. So
everything's always word of mouth.
Yeah, a lot of South Carolinians, even if it's just in Rock Hill or Fort Mill, but a lot of South Carolinians, people from Atlanta. She's from Virginia, so she pulls a good Virginia crowd. Had a couple Fayetteville people. And just like Greensboro, surrounding areas. So we've had a lot of out-of-town love too, especially on big weekends. CIAA weekend, we had a lot of out-of-towners. So yeah, we've been successful with that too, just reaching other cities, other states.
Okay, so let's talk about the party you have coming up now. You have a party coming up on the 28th, and Snoop is going to be there?
Yes, Snoop. If you guys ever watched The Wire, which is a hit series some years ago, Love and Hip Hop New York, you've seen Snoop. And if I actually was looking at some stuff, Snoop's had quite a few different smaller movies, big movies, different. She's been in a lot of different productions, but her latest gig has been Love and Hip Hop New York. So, but Snoop is a real good person, real good people person. We've heard great things about her when it comes down to personal business and things like that, and not even just the business side, but the love that she shows to her crowds when she does events. But yeah, y'all look out for that April 28th at the Press Box. That's 9609 North Tryon Street. April 28th from doors open at 9 p.m. And yeah, y'all get there, man. Come turn up with us. It's gonna be a good night.
All right, so let's get personal. It won't be too bad. I promise. But, personalities have a voice as well. And your followers need to know who you are. Besides, who they see running back and forth through a club or, saying hi and bye when you just in passing or things like that.
Right.
So they do need to get to know you so they know, like, okay, these two are cool. They're down to earth, I can rock with them.
Right.
So let's talk about life. It's not, I promise.
Let's talk about it.
Diamond's over here like, oh, Lord. So, boxers or panties?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with panties, baby.
Panties?
Mm-hmm.
Panties?
Yeah, panties. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a female at heart and will always stay in touch with my feminine side. But when it comes down to taking care of myself, I take care of myself as any female would. So,
right.
I'm not ashamed of that. But there has been times where I've had like the tighter, I don't know if they're considered like boxer briefs or spandex type things from like American Eagle, Hollister. They have the tighter ones that you can wear like under basketball shorts and stuff like that. So yeah, that, but hey, I have the same bodily functions that any other woman has. So, I handle myself accordingly. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's good. I'm very big on hygiene. That's a very big deal for me. That's almost a deal breaker.
Yeah,
almost.
Like,
that should be, okay?
It is one.
I'm
I'm just saying it's a deal breaker, but
some things that we do, a lot of people won't.
True.
So.
I definitely agree. So, how secretive is it for me to ask whether it's a strap or no strap kind of night?
Why you
well, mine is a no strap kind of night. Yeah, that's not my go-to. That's not my first. That's not my first idea when it comes down to a late night. So yeah, that just for some reason has just never been a big thing. I've experienced it and using it, but I have never just been consistent with it. So yeah, it's a no strap kind of night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to know.
Let's hear it, Diamond.
Gosh, we have this conversation all the time, right?
Let it be known, Diamond. Let the world know.
I have to say, this is going to be a strap type of night. It's going to be a strap type of night, you feel me? All night, if possible.
Okay. Hey, I just had to break the ice a little bit. I had to break the ice a little bit. All right, I'm gonna let y'all live now.
Sorry.
Just for a little bit. So, describe what a typical day is for you, Diamond. What does a typical day look like for you?
My typical day, busy. I get up, I walk my dogs. I have 2 Yorkies. If I'm not working, in a meeting with her, working out, I really don't have an outside life. If I do anything, if I want to do something, I'm with my family, like I'm traveling. But for the most part, I'm here in Charlotte by myself. Mm-hmm. So right now, I have her, my football team.
Shout out to the Carolina Queens.
Oh yeah. But my day, I don't really have one because I'm always busy. So I don't really know how to explain that because I'm always doing something. Mm-hmm. But I'm getting up. My day starts roughly around 6:00 a.m. and I'm going to sleep around maybe 11 p. or probably later.
Mm-hmm. So how do you make time for yourself?
I get in where I fit in. I really don't. I don't know. I guess on my days off, depending on what's going on and what I have to do for me. Mm-hmm. If I'm making a doctor's appointment for myself, or if I'm taking my dogs to the doctor, mm-hmm. or if I'm going to see my mom, I'll fit it in some type of how.
So what made you want to come to Charlotte? What made you want to relocate?
A different scenery. Mm-hmm. I won't say I got tired of Virginia, but I just needed something different at the time. Mm-hmm. I went to Hampton University for school. I mean, I pretty much grew up in Virginia all my life, so going to school, growing up, and then going to college, like, I needed something
it's time
after.
For something different.
Yeah, so coming to Charlotte, like, I have family in South Carolina, Florida, New York. So coming here, I felt like I would be in the middle of everybody, and I guess that's why I really want to come here, just for a different scenery. I don't know.
So are you enjoying it? Do you feel like it's a good move?
I mean, yeah. Sometimes I think about moving.
And where would you go?
Cali.
Cali? Oh, that's dope. Yeah, Cali is pretty nice.
Yeah, Cali is
nice.
Real nice. Yeah, I've been in Cali.
Cali is definitely nice.
A typical day for me is just during the week going to work. After work, it's a couple different things: either meeting with Diamond, working out, or trying to get some rest. But I think that anytime you're doing something that you enjoy, even if you're busy with it, it's not as stressful. So I don't really stress about having time to do too much extra outside of what I'm focused on right now, because I want it that bad. And so I've had a lot of free time here and there in the past before doing the entertainment stuff besides just working. So right now I'm enjoying it so much that it is what I do in my free time.
Right.
And
it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like work. So,
that's good.
Yeah, just going to my full-time job, which working in the school system is a joy for the most part, to work with kids, and then it can be stressful at times, but doing the entertainment things is really a relief and a release from everyday life and just working every day. So during the week I'm focused on what I can do to be productive. On the weekends, I work at my mom's club, so I help manage crystals. And then if we have an event, of course, I'm at our event.
Right.
But yeah, I try to get rest on the weekends and just be as productive as I can, but still have a restful weekend, or do something. Like today, I went to the Jamaican Me Happy festival in Charlotte, put on by I think it's Carolina Brewery Tours. So attending events and stuff like that around the city. But yeah, I'm pretty much working and trying to reach my goals every day.
So what do you do in the school system?
I'm a behavior modification technician. So I help kids who have behavioral issues and behavioral challenges. I help them try to improve their behavior so that they can be successful academically. But most of the time, not most of the time, but from time to time, I have to do some suspending. So whether it's out of school suspension, in school suspension. But before that, I try to work with kids on giving them different ways to cope with their challenges, basically. So I work with behaviors and just, I'm a little bit of everything. Behaviors, you kind of counsel kids, you kind of mentor kids, right. Discipline, so just really what they call us is support staff. Support staff? So, yes. Okay. I'm a part of the support staff and administration team at a middle school in Charlotte.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Diamond, what is it that you do? What is your day job?
I'm a psych tech at Behavioral Health Charlotte, which is now Awesome Health. I work with mental health and behavioral health patients. Very challenging. So this whole nightlife thing is so perfect, right up my alley. Because going to work, coming home from work, I'm telling you, if I'm not leaving with a headache, I don't know what I'm leaving with. I'm telling you, like, working a full-time job at the hospital and, being a part of the nightlife balance out perfectly, because dealing with the stress of helping these people, the patients, and dealing with their problems and all of that, man, you have to have a certain type of gift from God to actually work with those type of people.
It takes patience.
What? Like, it really does.
It takes patience.
Seriously.
Yeah, it takes a lot of patience.
So what goals have you set for yourselves? What are your personal goals?
My goal is to own a business. My goal is to kind of follow my mother's footsteps and be a business owner. And I don't want a dance hall like she has, but I do want a very elegant lounge bar, and of course with TVs and things like that, but a versatile venue that you can have laid back events, mixers, day parties, night parties, hookah events. I love hookah. feature different spoken word. I just want a versatile venue to be for any type of crowd to be able to come have a good time. Incorporating a little bit of food, of course, hookah, some drinks, seating and things like that, but just a nice little spot that I can cater to our community with.
Are you a poet?
That's my goal. No, I'm not. I respect poetry though. I enjoy hearing it from time to time, but I'm not a poet.
You know?
I'm not a writer.
Okay. I heard you say poetry. I assume that you know.
I do enjoy it though. I like spoken word. I like karaoke, which Diamond has done some karaoke in the past.
I've seen.
Yeah, she's done karaoke. So I like things other than just partying at night all the time. I like daytime stuff too. So I want to be able to open a venue that can cater to some of those types of things, and bring a different vibe to Charlotte.
Yeah, to piggyback off of her, I want pretty much the same thing as well, but as of right now, I really want to expand out of Charlotte. Like, I want us to grow beyond Charlotte, because the vision that I have, I really see us like the Miamis, the DC, the Atlanta. Like, I know we can do it, you know what I mean? And we just have to come across the right people. I mean, it's all about who you know as well. And just continue to network. That's really the big goal right now, is to get out of Charlotte and to bring that Charlotte crowd with us, like she said earlier. So I want to see it happen. It's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to happen. So
yeah, I'm big on my thing is I'm big on laws of attraction. And I, all day, legit, don't judge me though. All day I will listen to motivational speeches, ones on YouTube. There's usually something in my ear if it's not on Spotify. But I'm usually listening to something that's keeping me in a good spirit, because it's so easy to let your spirit or let your mood be tampered with, or, to even diminish by the smallest things. And it's so easy to, lose your focus. So that's pretty good, because I definitely try to keep a positive mindset, especially with, chasing a dream, staying focused. And, man, Key, you want to come out? Oh, man. Decision. Is this blog need to be finished? Oh, man, I got to write this book. But, it's all about your priorities. If your priorities are not in order, it says a lot about where you're going to be or where you're going to end up. And, the laws of attraction, I will keep that. I'll be on it. But let's talk about your dating life. So, are you single? Are you mingling? Or are you taken?
I'm single, but I'm not mingling. I'm really focused on myself right now and focused on my career and my goals. I think that at this point in my life, I've had several relationships, and I still think very highly of the girls that I have dated. But right now, I'm just at a point where I'm ready to really reach my goals. And I just turned 29 in March. And I just feel like by the time I turn 30, that's the point where I want to have a venue. I want to have a building that I'm starting a business. And I have a lot of support behind me when it comes to that. So right now, I just really am trying to spend most of my focus on me and my time on me. But there's a lot of, friends, homegirls, people that I have that, great people that have supported us. But as far as a strict relationship for me, I feel like that can wait. And I really want to focus on me and my career right now, and my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish. I just think life's too short to settle or let any opportunity pass you by. So while you're in your prime and while you're in it, you got to win it. So that's where.
But do you plan to settle down?
Yeah, eventually. If it's if I see fit, for the right person. But at the same time, I'm good if I'm single for the rest of my life. I'm just, my mom's single, my dad's single. Pretty much no one as far as my immediate siblings have ever been married. So I don't come from the married life either. My parents were never married. So my parents pretty much co-parented. My parents actually lived together for some of my childhood and had separate rooms. And one of them could have moved out, but my parents decided to live in the same household to raise us, me and my siblings together. So I don't come from marriage, and I think sometimes people's mind is on settling down, marriage, because that may be what they're used to, where they come from, what they saw their parents do. So I think for me, not having a family that's engulfed in marriage and settling down and that being the key to life, it's never been something that's been in the forefront of my mind. So I'm good with being alone. I'm cool with it. I don't want to be lonely, but being alone is fine with me, and just staying focused on my career. So not trying to be selfish, but you know, I got one life to live. You know, I gotta try to make the best of it. You know, so yeah, that's where I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the total opposite. Yeah, I'm the total opposite. I was raised with both parents. Come from a mom and a dad that were married. So that love that they showed me coming up, you know, sometimes I want to give it to somebody else, or, you know, sometimes I look for it, but I'm single. Okay.
She is very proud of that.
Okay. I'm single.
She is very proud.
And sometimes I do mingle, but you know, it's for the most part. Like if I have like some free times, I'll go like on a lunch date or something like that. You know, just to converse. You know, small talk, but nothing serious. Like right now, like she said, I'm focused.
Yeah, focused.
I'm really focused on, you know, me and what I'm trying to do, and I just really can't take these girls serious anyways right now because some still have baggage. They can't get over an ex. You know, like they just ain't ready, man. True. And most of them they halfway got themselves together. So
I agree.
If I deal with somebody, like I want them to come for, you know, full force when it's, you know, messing with me. So, but I'm single, ladies. Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your biggest pet peeves? What are your pet peeves?
My pet peeve is telling me I got to tell you something big happened, but I'm gonna tell you later. I don't like that. I don't like, or I heard this, but I'm not gonna tell you who I heard it from. Those are two things that I can't stand. If you got something to tell me, and like now you got my, you know, my heart beating fast, like what is it? You know, you gotta tell me right now. You know, I don't like that.
I think that's one of my pet peeves too.
I got something I need to talk to you about, but I'm gonna talk to you about it later. But if you are gonna talk to me about it later, cool. But just give me the subject right now, so I know, you know, what it is. I don't like playing a waiting game on stuff like that. So those are a couple things that I don't really like.
That's one of my big ones too.
Yeah.
Like I gotta tell you something, but I'm gonna call you right back. What?
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna call me right back. No, you gonna tell me that.
Right. Yeah, I was told, but I can't say who said it. But yeah, like come on, man, we too old for that. Yeah. So yeah, those are two things I don't like.
I can definitely agree with that. So, what is a big misconception about the both of you?
A big misconception about me is that I'm stuck up. I think I'm better than everybody. I think I'm the SHIT. I think I'm prettier than, you know, I think I can take anybody's girl, get any girl I want, stuff like that. So just the cocky and conceited type of thing, or thinking that I'm, you know, above others. That's a common misconception for me from other, what you call, of course, studs, femmes, whatever you want to call them, doms. But, and that leads into people thinking that I'm not so approachable. So I think some people hesitate to approach me thinking I'm not approachable, but I actually am cool as ever once people get to know me. So that's been a common misconception about me throughout the entertainment and also prior to. So.
And how does that make you feel? Like, what does that do to you?
It's a little disappointing, but at the same time, it makes me reevaluate how can I make people more comfortable approaching me? How can I look more approachable? Is it my facial expressions? Is it my body language? Am I moving too fast throughout parties and not really? Because some people, you know us from Facebook or Instagram or know us from the parties, but we don't necessarily know their face when we see it. So some people may think, oh, dang, they walk past us, then acknowledge us. You know, I've been sharing your flyer on Facebook, or, you know, so just trying to figure out what I can do to make people feel more comfortable approaching me or not give off that vibe. If for some reason or somehow I have been giving off that type of vibe, I try to figure out ways to make people more comfortable with, you know, just talking to me or just not getting the idea of me, and doing things like this too. Putting things on social media about your personal life or showing different things about you that show people you're willing to open up to the world, you know, and kind of show a different side of you. I think that makes people comfortable too. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's common for me.
You know, it's crazy that you asked this question because people think that I'm so stuck up, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know. Like, my appearance, I like to dress nice. You know, I like to do nice things. And it's not to say that I'm better than anybody, but that's just me, you know what I mean? And like she said, like, she's a cool person, I'm a cool person, and if you ever approach me, I'm going to talk. I'm going to speak. You know, I'm not rude.
Right.
I'm not disrespectful. Actually, I'm very respectful. But I get that she stuck up all the time. Like, I don't see where I'm stuck up at. Am I stuck up?
No, Diamond's just straightforward and pretty cut and dry. That's pretty much. That's pretty much Diamond. And people can misconstrue that for being stuck up or, you know, kind of being a thorn in the side. You know, they can mistake that. But she's just straightforward, cut and dry. She's gonna tell you if she likes something, she doesn't like it. I mean, pretty much black and white when it comes down to her opinion on things, and she's not afraid to speak her mind. So, you know, some people appreciate that and respect it, and some people are intimidated by it or think it's rude. But it's actually just being straightforward, being blunt, and to me, it gets straight to the point, and it saves time. You know, it saves time for me because I prefer that, and that's part of the reason why. Yeah, some people don't appreciate it. And they don't know how to digest that type of feedback, but. You know, you gotta take your feelings out of the equation sometimes and think about what's important and the goal that you're trying to reach. You know, if you got a common goal, you got to shoot for it and kind of keep some of your personal feelings out of it and go with whatever's going to work best as far as business and what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
So, yeah, it's actually what I prefer. And that's why her and I get along well, because I'm not afraid to tell her, hey, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do this, or I feel this way, I feel that way. And she's not afraid to just say straight up what it is. If we don't agree, cool, we're going to go with one way or the other, and we're going to keep it moving. You know, we don't have time to, you know, pussyfoot back and forth. Yeah, so it's going to make sense, though. We're going to make sure it makes sense, but we're good with being straightforward with one another. And you know, some people take that as, like you said, being stuck up or whatever, but, you know, we are relentless when it comes to reaching these goals we're trying to reach because we like what we do. So
I definitely
that's
agree.
just where we are right now.
I definitely agree. The biggest misconception about me is that I'm bougie. I don't know why they say that, but you know, they say that I'm not approachable because, you know, I don't walk with my head down. But you know, on another note, I'm very, as you said, approachable. I'm very easy to talk to. Most people usually come to me to talk, and it's like I'm a people's person, because I told you, you know, earlier that I never meet a stranger. And for me, it's so easy to talk to people. You know, I can go out here, see somebody sitting out there on the couch and go talk to them, and it's nothing for me. So that's why I say I don't know, you know, that misconception is, you know, is far off. But so let's talk about, you know, being humble. What experiences have humbled you?
Just in general?
Just in general, what has really humbled you and made you realize that, okay, life is more than what you were doing, or, you know, I need to get serious about my goals and my dreams?
I think for me, when my grandmother passed, it just really opened up a different avenue. I don't know, it touched me. And when she left us, I just started looking at life different, period. And I don't know.
Yeah, for me, it's for me when my sister passed away. I had a sister that my oldest sister passed away in 2014 in breast cancer. So she was the oldest of us, the seven of us. So when she passed away, it kind of put life into perspective for me in a way, to just live every day to the full out extent, you know, and just life is short and you never know when it's your time. So you gotta try to make the best of each day, be positive, and get the most out of life that you can and enjoy it, and find more to be happy about than you find to complain about. So yeah, my sister passing away definitely made me grow up. I think it made me mature. It made me put just a different value on everyday life, you know, because my sister, I think we found out that she had breast cancer in like January, and she passed away in October. So that was like 10 months where, you know, this is like your last 10 months to live. Like, who would have thought that at 44, you know, that would happen? No warning or nothing. So that humbled me a lot, and it's helped me realize that some of the things that I was doing before, like I was a huge worrier. I don't worry nearly as much anymore. So that was one thing that really, really helped me out a lot. So my sister's passing definitely humbled me and helped me put life into a different perspective, and it's made me realize the real meaning behind life is too short, because there's a lot of things that I don't tolerate now that I would tolerate back then, and now it's just kind of like, I just won't tolerate it. Yeah, just because of the perspective that I have. So
yeah, I can concur with that. My most humbling experience. My sister passed, but she passed in 2009. She actually drowned in the ocean in Myrtle Beach, and she was only 12.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so everything that I do, I always say that I'm doing it for her because she couldn't do it, and that's what keeps me motivated. That's definitely what keeps me motivated and wanting to go further into what I'm doing, because she was a dancer. She did ballet, tap, and jazz. She was on 106 in Park. So old, but she was on 106 in Park and everything. So I know that she would have been big if she were still here, but she's not. So everything I do, I put that extra oomph in it for her. So, and I call myself a natural warrior as well, but now like being on my motivational kick, it's just like it changed my mindset. Now I think about, what I have, like my end goal. I think about my end goal. And that's what gets me through to, my next hurdle or my next obstacle of getting things done. So what is the best advice you've been given? That you still use and think about?
The best advice for me that I can remember, and always will, is to keep God first, stay positive, and keep pushing. And that was from my granny. So I'm going to always, have that in the back of my mind with anything that I do.
That's really nice.
I've gotten a lot of good advice from my parents. I think the biggest thing for me, just in a nutshell, if I had to kind of combine all the good advice I've gotten, is just to never give up. So just from seeing my sister fight cancer, she never gave up to the last day. I mean, she was still trying to do things on her own, way after she should have even been trying. But just anytime adversity strikes, don't give up, keep moving. Or anytime something doesn't go your way, or anything, just to never give up and continue to make an effort, because if you're still breathing, you still got opportunity.
Right.
So yeah, that's my the biggest advice I've been given from my parents, just my family, my sister in general, is to never give up. So
that's good advice. My uncle, he lives in Atlanta, but he tells me all the time, he's like, you're young, you don't have kids. He was like, go live your life and do what you want to do. And I definitely use it. I think about that when I feel like I want to give up, because it's so easy to want to give up when things don't happen the way you want it to. So I keep that advice close. But this has been a great interview with Diamond and Epiphany. And tell my followers, your followers, where they can find you on social media.
You can follow me at young.manifest. That's on Instagram. Everything's spelled correctly. Young.manifest on Instagram. Epiphany Woodson on Facebook. And then my Snapchat name is actually in my bio on my Instagram. It's spelled Epiphany, but instead of an N, you put a V where the N would be. But yeah, young.manifest on Instagram, man. Or at Entertainment New Era. So it's backwards on Instagram. Entertainment New Era. That is that's my entertainment site for Instagram. So yep, young.manifest, Epiphany Woodson on Facebook, and Entertainment New Era on Instagram.
Y'all can follow me on IG at 757GAL. 757GAL. Also on Facebook, y'all can follow me, Linda Rickenbacker. It's a German last name, all right? So don't ask no questions. Linda Rickenbacker on Facebook. Y'all make sure y'all holler at me. Ask me more questions if you need to. Get more personnel. And come party with us. Turn up, man.
April 28th at the Press Box. All right, Snoop will be in the building. For tables, 704-252-4843. That's for any table information, birthdays, special birthday packages, things like that. Y'all hit us up. All right, DM us. Feel free to ask us any questions y'all might have, and continue to support us. And definitely send us your brands. Send us what you do. Send us flyers to your events, and we'll definitely support you. Shout out to 704, everybody in Charlotte doing big things.
Well, that has been great. Thanks for sharing all of your information. Do go check both these ladies out. They're great. They're awesome. They have good vibes. You know, I thought they were both stuck up. Anyway. I'm just joking. But they're great people. So, yeah, go check them out. And do follow the next podcast that will be posted next week. This one will be up in a couple days. So do check that out. And we're going to leave this off with a toast. And I'm going to let Diamond leave us with a toast for our followers.
With my water? Because that's what I'm drinking.
She's drinking water.
Easy, okay?
Cranberry juice. Flush out the kidneys.
Let's do it.
What we toasting to?
Toasted to 2018. Positive everything. Great mindset. Great life. And let's do it.
All right.
Cheers.
It's a wrap. Cheers.
All right. You guys check out the podcast. And I hope to see you guys on another podcast of Sippin' Tea with Key.